friends. Welcome to Scott Fox After 9. Before I go any further into this episode, I just want to say thank you and I apologize. For the last couple of days, there's been just one heck of an IT nightmare unfolding, trying to get these episodes to populate into all of the different apps. And I don't fully understand what happened, but here is what I'm told by my team here that works with me on Scott Fox After 9. And by team, I mean there's like two other people. The podcast had been set to show a maximum of 300 episodes in Spotify and Apple Podcast. 300. Well, the other day I posted episode 300 and 301. And for whatever reason, that threw the apps into turmoil. So I've spent the last 48 hours trying to figure out how to fix this problem. And it was real simple on my end, but I needed to wait until Spotify and Apple, etc., did a little refresh so they would realize, oh, there's new content here and we've got to update. So thank you for being patient. And if you discovered a new way to listen over the last couple of days, thank you. Somebody told me they were listening on Audible. I didn't even know you could get this podcast on Audible, so that's great. Some people have moved over to YouTube, and that's fine too. I believe the problem is now rectified, but I understand that was inconvenient, and thank you for being patient. I also want to say thank you to the amount of people, and I'm not even done replying yet, that reached out to see if I was okay. They noticed a couple of days went by, no podcast, and they wanted to check on me. I can't thank you enough for that. That really means a lot, that you were thinking about me and concerned about me. I appreciate it, but I'm here to tell you I am good. I feel fantastic, and I've got a great episode coming your way today. But before I tell you about that, there were some episodes that came out earlier this week that are only just now starting to show up in the app stores. I did one on the OSAP cuts that Doug Ford is responsible for. I did another one on, what was the other one actually? Let me just see here. The other one was the State of the Union. Donald Trump's speech the other night. Almost 2 hours long. I got you the best parts in 15 minutes or less. So please go back and give those episodes a listen if you didn't hear them. And now let's get into today. I got a little treat for you, actually. We haven't heard from her on the pod in a while, so let me bring in the great Ana Almeida on a Thursday.
Hey, it's good to be here. I miss hearing you go, hey now.
We haven't been able to make our schedule sync up on the pod because I was off one week and there was a holiday in there and you're going to be off tomorrow. But people do ask about you, so I wanted to bring you in and get your take on a couple of things, if you don't mind.
Oh, and thank you that they asked. That's so lovely. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to give you my opinion.
You've been listening to the pod, I take it?
Yeah, you're cool, man. And I get to say I know you.
All right. First and foremost, and we're not going to do anything political, but at the end of this episode, I am going to do a little bit of Doug Ford's news conference the other day. Have you noticed, Anna, the polls are shifting and Mr. Ford is dropping in popularity rapidly?
Which he now does not like those polls all of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
Right?
Isn't that funny?
I found that to be funny. He's like, oh, polls are just for dogs. I was like, well, that's a weird thing to compare it to as well. But
funny, when he took endless shots at Pierre Poilievre, he often referenced the polls.
Well, that's what I mean.
Now the polls don't matter, though, when it's him that's slipping.
When it's not serving you, it don't matter. I that's the kind of stuff I don't like, honestly.
Let me get your take on a couple of different things before I get to the Doug Ford stuff, which is going to be a little heavier. So let's keep it a little lighter. Where we are in Southern Ontario, it is beautiful outside today. Nice sunshine. And tomorrow it's going to be 7 degrees in Southern Ontario. We've been waiting a long time for 7. I mean, this winter started November the 9th was the first big snowfall that we got, and it's been cold and snowy ever since the beginning of November.
Yeah.
I'm ready for this to be over.
I'm ready too. I get the winter blues, honestly. I really do. It's just depressing. So when the sun is out, and I'm so happy. I randomly have tomorrow off, and I'm going to be spending time with my family, and I'm so excited that it's actually going to be warm out. And isn't it funny that 7 degrees now, we're like, oh my gosh, it's so warm. It's like a spring day.
It's like patio weather.
Honestly. And I'll be out there if I need to be. I'm just so excited. So, yeah.
What do you think of Auston Matthews? He is back from the Olympics. There are a lot of people in our very left-leaning media here in Canada, in particular the Toronto Star, who are basically saying that Auston Matthews made a choice when he went to go see Donald Trump with the rest of the team in the White House, and he should probably not be welcomed with open arms back into Toronto.
Oh, no. Okay, listen, I don't like Donald Trump as a person, and I don't agree with a lot of with his politics, but he is the captain and he took his team and he went with everybody. And who knows if you'll ever have the opportunity to go and have an experience like that again. Also, if I boo Auston Matthews, it's because he's not providing a Stanley Cup to us, not because he went to dine at the White House. So I would like the momentum of his win with Team USA to be brought over to us, and so we can cheer happily with excitement and not feel frustrated when a game is over.
Yesterday, he was doing some media rounds. This is Auston Matthews yesterday in Tampa.
It's what's special. I think obviously we're proud Americans, and doing something like that, winning a gold medal, obviously representing your country. Felt like it was a special honor to be invited. I mean, it's an honor. So it was pretty neat to go there and see everything and just kind of get to share that experience with everybody.
You had the invitation?
I mean, I think it's not, to me, I don't like to get political or get into that kind of stuff. I mean, like I said, we're proud Americans, and, winning a gold medal, it's been 46 years since the men's ice hockey team has done that. So, the team that wins the Stanley Cup every year accepts the White House invitation to go. So, I just think it's something that you do, because we are proud Americans, and whatever your political beliefs may be. Hopefully something like this will, hopefully bring more unity to the country and stuff like that. But, for us, we believe it's a great honor no matter who's in office.
He sounds sad, doesn't he?
He's usually fairly monotone during his interviews. But
I just found like he just won a gold medal, and it's just, you would hope to have more excitement, and I feel down for him just listening to that.
Well, you hit the nail on the head. We want him to take that momentum from having won a gold medal, bring that winning attitude, that winning pedigree back to Toronto, and help Toronto do better. You can tell he's not even looking forward to getting back to Toronto and dealing with the Toronto media because of this. He shouldn't have to explain why he went to the White House. Politics should not be involved in sports, as I see it.
Mm-hmm. So I just find this all very sad. I want you to win. I want to boo you if you suck, not because of where you had dinner. Honestly, at the end of the day, he didn't go by himself, and he went with the whole team. And to his point, he doesn't like mixing the two, but he was invited, so he went, and that's what he felt was the best decision for him and his team. So that's them. Now, let's bring that winning attitude. Let's have us cheer for him. Let's not boo him unless he deserves to be booed, unless it's a blowout of a game and we lost by a lot. No, let him just play the game that he's getting paid for, and he wears the C proudly.
By the way, last night at the Leaf game in Tampa, which the Leafs lost in, watching NHL hockey after having watched Olympic hockey, it feels slow and it looked lazy. Now, maybe it's just because I was watching a Toronto game, but it was lazy and slow compared to the Olympics. At the Olympics, they're playing for something, even if it's just for pride. It seems like the Leafs, just a bunch of multimillionaires out there, it seems like they don't care. They had 3 weeks off and it shows.
Yeah, and come on, you're multimillionaires. You should be playing with the grit of winning the Stanley Cup, because just how long it's taken the U.S. team to get a gold medal at the games, it's taken us even longer as a Toronto nation to get a Stanley Cup. So that is the kind of heat and fire we want. It's just sad. And also it's going to be weird. Cheering for other people like Marchand, not cheering for him because we got used to cheering for him with Team Canada. It's just funny how that all changes after, because you got so used to cheering for Auston Matthews, and then you're like, no, wait, I can't cheer for you because I want Canada to win. So let's not boo him. Let's just welcome him. He is our captain.
One more on the sports realm, and then I'm going to move on to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame nominees. Last night at the Leafs game in Tampa, well, who else happens to be down in Florida? The Blue Jays.
Yeah.
Manager John Snyder was at the game with his family watching the Leafs, and he gave a real good interview to Sean McKenzie. Listen to this.
You're here with your family, and I've heard a rumor that it's your wife and your boys' first hockey game. What's the experience been like?
They're having a blast. I wish the score was a little bit different, but my beautiful wife, Jessie, Gunnar, and Grayson, first hockey game. They're cheering hard for the Leafs, and if they have a little 25 Blue Jay magic in them, it'll be all right.
Amazing. Speaking of that 25 Blue Jay magic, after the success and everything that your team went through, how excited are you to get back at it?
Can't wait. Spring training's always fun, but regular season in Toronto, you can't match it. So, unbelievable group that we're returning. Some awesome new additions to the team, and I just think the future of the Blue Jays is in a really, really good spot.
I know you hear the Leafs players talk about being a member of the Maple Leafs comes with a certain level of attention and maybe a target on your back. After the success the Jays have had, do you expect things to change a little bit, to that attention to be a little bit higher?
Yeah, but that's a good thing. That's why you play the game, and that's why the boys, love competing. So I'm really anxious to see how we come out, start the season. We've talked about it a lot in the offseason and spring training. And they're going to be ready for the challenge. They're going to be ready for people giving us their best shot.
Thanks a lot for the time. Enjoy the rest of the game, everyone.
Appreciate it, man.
So how do we get him to be the coach for the Leafs too?
Well, the Leafs should seriously be considering getting rid of the coach they've got.
Honestly, he's just full of greatness. Even if you're not a Blue Jays fan per se, you just are excited and you have somebody like him backing the team. It's just, he's so good. He's so good.
The short list of nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction this year have been announced. Anna, can I run a few names by you? You tell me if you think it's likely or unlikely that they'll get inducted. Keep in mind, there's 1,200 people that vote for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Okay. Only 5 of the following artists are going to make it in. You ready?
5. Okay, got it.
Phil Collins.
I'm surprised he's not in there. That's ridiculous. How is he not there yet?
Phil Collins is one of the best concerts I've ever seen in my life. And I'll tell you, it was also one of the most simple concerts I've ever seen in my life. Very basic stage setup. He came out in a hoodie and a beanie.
Cool.
He performed without saying a word, just sung with the voice of an angel for about half an hour. Then he said, "Hello, Toronto," and the place went nuts.
That's all you needed to do.
And then he did a drum solo.
Oh, that would have been great.
Anna, I'm telling you, it was one of the best experiences I've been to in a concert, and I've seen everybody live. But I'll tell you something about Phil is he's not doing well, and I think we should honor him when he's alive, not when he's dead. I think this is a no-brainer to put Phil Collins in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Again, I'm surprised he's not in there already with his accolades. I'm surprised. So yeah, give it to him. He should definitely be one of the 5.
Lauryn Hill.
Oh my gosh, I love Lauryn Hill. Oh, that's a tough one. I'd love for her to be in it. I just don't know if it's yet.
Has she had enough? I mean, the Fugees and Lauryn Hill on her own, I know that album was big, but it's kind of few and far between. We don't hear a lot from Lauryn Hill.
So she goes on tours, smaller tours, and she gets interactive with her audience. I've watched her live, and she was great, actually. But then she just has a really interesting reputation that follows her that I think that's what probably would cause her not to get it inducted yet.
In Excess. Are they a little too before your time?
Yes, they are. But I remember it was like a making of a band and looking for their singer. I think that was one of them, right?
Very good.
Thank you.
Michael Hutchence was the lead singer, and he's
a Maritimer.
Is he?
Yeah.
He passed away.
Oh, not him. The guy who replaced him. Sorry.
Michael passed away. I believe it was autoerotic asphyxiation. It's where you strangle yourself while you're playing with yourself.
Jeez, man, that is a terrible way to go.
Well, back in the 80s, it was quite controversial, and nobody really talked about it. It was the 90s, actually. He passed away.
Okay, so, sure, just because he lost his life in such a traumatic way, why not give it to them?
Iron Maiden.
Not yet.
Luther Vandross.
Ooh, yeah.
Really?
I thought he would have been in it by now. He just has that voice and the aura, how do you say, aura to him? Yeah, I think he should have been in there already.
This will be a tough one. Mariah Carey.
Yes.
Hold on.
Yes.
She's not done yet. She could absolutely be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She's got some records that I don't know if they'll ever be beat. But she's still making music. She's still on top of the charts every year for her old music at Christmas time. Is it too soon to put Mariah in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
No, she's been in the music game for multiple decades, and she was the #1 hit single person of the 90s and continued on into the 2000s. I think her heyday is behind her, and I'm a huge Mariah Carey fan. That was my first concert I ever attended. I love her. I think she should be honored and let her just go make music without all the pressure. I don't think she even has the pressure. She's a diva. She don't care.
Shakira?
Not yet. No.
Melissa Etheridge?
Yes, she should be in it now, too. I think because she was so controversial for her time. People weren't ready, and she didn't care, and she just went for it.
Pink?
No, not yet. But she is deserving one day because she's so talented.
Tough one here. Pioneers, New Edition.
Yeah.
Johnny Gill and Bobby Brown in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That would be different.
Imagine them performing Things Fall Out of Their Pockets during that induction.
Sade.
Oh my gosh, I love Sade. Yes. And everybody seems to know her too, her music. Even if you're just like a Gen Z or a newcomer, you will know who she is. I think she'd be great.
All I can think of is The Sweetest Taboo. I can't really think of many Sade hits enough to get her in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
But I think if you're a fan, you're a fan. But she just has that timelessness to her that even if you don't know per se the name of the song, you know the music if it were to be played.
Billy Idol?
Yeah, Billy. I mean, he's iconic. He's from the 80s. He's not my cup of tea, but people love him.
New Order.
Oh. And okay.
Bizarre Love Try. I mean, the list goes on.
Yeah, I'm just thinking because we only have 5 spots and I'm getting quite full. These are hard, actually.
The Black Crowes.
Not yet.
Really?
No.
Okay. What about Oasis?
Yes. And the reason I say Oasis over the Black Crowes is because they've had this resurgence and I think there is still that passion and people still are paying big dollar to go see them. So I think it could be worth it.
Last one is the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yes, they
Absolutely.
changed the game. Come on. Wu-Tang for life.
Totally agree with you. So
this was fun.
is there a 5 that you can narrow it down to? I think
Mariah.
Okay, Mariah.
Number 1 for me.
Phil Collins.
Yes. Okay.
Lauryn Hill.
She's on the cusp. Okay, so she's my number 5 right now, but Wu-Tang, so that's number 3. And then Billy, because I think that's fair.
Billy Idol.
And then
Oasis.
There we go.
There's your 5.
There's my 5. I think that's pretty solid.
It is pretty solid.
And well-rounded, too.
I don't even disagree with your picks.
Yeah, thank you.
Very good.
Thank you.
While you're here, I'm going to keep you around for just a little bit longer
please.
because there's a couple other things. One of the things that you and I in particular care a lot about is animals. That's something that we have in common. And I'm happy to report that as of yesterday, the remaining seals, sea lions, and walruses have been moved out of marine land in Niagara Falls. They're finally on their way to greener pastures or wetter waters.
Yeah, I like that one. And that's a tongue twister, and you nailed it.
They are going, I believe, to the Vancouver Aquarium.
That's what I heard
Frankly,
too.
I don't care where they're going as long as they get world-class care for their golden years. This is the first time in 65 years that the sea lions, seals, and walruses are not at marine land.
I'm so happy to see them gone. Honestly, it took a long time, but at least better late than never. They are so deserving. I've never been to Marineland, and I'm really happy I never went, especially knowing what I know now, how they were treated in this last little while. And I commend their caretakers who stuck with it because they were getting probably paid not much, and they didn't care. They just kept pushing. So I'm happy they're going to retire happily and taken care of.
What do you think we should do with Marineland?
Close it down.
Close it down.
Like completely, it's just going to sit there collecting dust. I think tear it down and do something else. I'm sure renovate, people want to buy it and put other stuff in it.
I think that if we're going to build any more condos, because the condo market is basically dead.
Yeah.
But I think if we're going to build any condos right there on the Niagara River, a kilometer
beautiful.
from the brink of the falls would probably be quite valuable real estate.
I agree with you. And I think people who maybe are looking to retire, that could be the place that they do it, where they get a little bit of everything. They get the falls view, they get wine country, you still get access to the border quickly. Like a lot of different things. I think it would be a great location.
It's also, though, a good spot for an amusement park, which is what it currently is. That could be the new Canada's Wonderland.
I would love if Canada's Wonderland would be shut down and move there. There's more space to be had. Or, I don't know, do we need 2 Canada's Wonderlands? I don't think so. But it would be nice to have it there. And one-stop shop. I could stay at a hotel. I could go down to the falls. I could have dinner. I could go to the casino. I could have some wine and then go to an amusement park. Like, that is a full weekend, and I would get my money's worth.
Great. Last thing I'm going to use you for here, and then I'm going to roast Doug Ford some more, because I feel like he deserves it. You know, like what he did to the kids with the students
OSAP.
with the OSAP, I think it's just appalling, if you ask me.
I agree with you. And also trying then to get some money and loans. Your family has to meet a certain credential to even be able to apply, to get help, to go to school. And everything's so expensive. Why do this now? And don't tell me it's because universities were going to collapse if they didn't do this. Like, that's such BS to me.
Yeah. I'll get to his news conference coming up in a few. But first off, it's a BuzzFeed list. And what BuzzFeed does is they aggregate things from different places. For those who don't know, a lot of this comes from Reddit. People are weighing in on the things that they can afford, but they're just not buying it anymore because it's too expensive.
Ayo.
Can I run down a few of them from the list for you?
Yes, I feel like I have things on that list as well.
Number 1 is steak.
Yes. It's so expensive.
How did beef get so expensive?
Right? I mean, they're still out there roaming. Like, we should be able to have access to them. Why are they so expensive?
We have more land than most other countries. I don't understand why there's not more farms.
I don't understand either. What's going on here? It should not be so expensive.
Concert tickets?
Yes, that's ridiculous. I really wanted to see a particular country artist when he comes into town in August with my best friend. Concert tickets were like $600 for basic seats.
Is it Luke Combs?
No, it was the other one. Now I forget because now I'm thinking Luke Combs. But regardless, it was $600 for basic seats to go to Toronto. And we said, no, absolutely not. That's ridiculous. So we're going to sit in the car and listen outside the stadium. Just kidding.
All right. Okay, that's fine. Weird flex, but okay.
I'm just kidding. But really.
Beer, wine, or liquor in a restaurant?
Listen, the only time I buy liquor if I'm at a restaurant now is if it's happy hour because it's too expensive. And then they come around, do you want another refill? No, lady, I'm sipping on this one slowly because it's $20.
The cocktails in particular are obnoxious. Even the beer, though, Anna. And by the way, beer taxes, alcohol taxes in general, are going to go up again on April the 1st because in the Trudeau years, we put them on an escalator tax, so they automatically go up every year. I can't, in good conscience, and I like going to a bar. I'll go to a bar alone and sit at the bar and just people watch and enjoy a beer. I like to do that. I've completely cut that out of my routine. And I'll tell you why. A regular domestic Canadian beer, they want like $9.50 a pint in some places.
It's ridiculous.
And I'm just not going to do it. I refuse. I will not pay those prices.
Well, it's so expensive. And then you have to think, do I want this drink or do I want the food? Like, which one do I really want? And everything's so expensive. So happy hour, that's really the only time I would get a drink. It's too much. And it takes away the fun of it when you're really trying to think of how much money am I going to have. And I have the money to buy it. It's just the point of it.
It's the point,
It's
right?
the point of it. It's ridiculous.
You could walk across the street and buy that same beer for $2.35, and they want $9.50 in a bar. And by the way, I don't blame the bars. They need to make money somehow. They're trying to generate revenue. I think it's counterintuitive to raise the prices as much as they have. But at the end of the day, they've got a bottom line too. The government could fix this. There's two things the government could do right now to save the restaurant industry. Number one, they've got to cut taxes on alcohol and all of the taxes and burdens on the restaurants and things like that. And there should also be no GST on food.
Yes.
Ever.
I agree with you.
You know, this if you buy it raw, it's tax-free. If somebody cooks it for you, you charge tax.
It's ridiculous.
No way. There should be no tax on food. It is something we need for life. They shouldn't be making money off that.
And then I feel bad too because if I'm on social media, I see another restaurant closing after 50 years. We just couldn't keep up with the times. We couldn't do this. And that breaks my heart because that shouldn't be happening.
Do you know that 45,000 businesses in Canada closed last year?
Yeah, I believe it. And that's so tragic. Honestly. You can't recover sometimes.
Still talking about the things that you can afford, but you're just not buying them because they've become too expensive and it's just too outrageous. Manicures and pedicures is one that somebody said.
Yeah, I don't have my nails done for a reason because now it's become a luxury. It's not something I just, I'm going to go do. It's part of my routine. No, it's literally a luxury because it is so damn expensive to get your nails done. It's ridiculous.
Streaming services.
Ooh, yes. And I have friends who've actually canceled some. They're like, okay, which is the one that we go to the most? And that's the one we will watch and use because it's so expensive and they keep going up in price.
You know, it's funny, almost a little ironic. The reason that streaming services took off as rapidly as they did is because they were cheaper than cable. Now, in a lot of ways, it would actually be cheaper to have cable. Now, cable doesn't have the same options as the streaming services, but you can't just subscribe to streaming services. You got to pick one for this show and then another service because you like that show and so on and so forth. And it's getting ridiculous.
Honestly, I know people who they refuse. So they'll go to a friend's house who has it and then they'll watch the show together. So they'll kind of do it that way. And again, all working successful people, but it is a point where this is getting too much.
Two more. Coffee.
I make my own at home. So
Me too.
If I go and buy it, it's because it's a nice little luxury. I want to do something nice. It's not something out of habit anymore.
Houses.
Come on.
You're actually not a homeowner.
Not anymore. And I'm really happy I was able to buy my home when I did. I bought my house back in 2012 for $187 and it was a 2,000 square feet home. Like,
hold on a second here. Where the hell did you get a 2,000 square foot home for $187,000?
Yeah, in Halifax. When
it was East Coast.
Yeah, East Coast. But still, I had lake access. That same home now is going for $400,000. Like, it's outrageous. The amount that it's climbed. And you're seeing some of these homes, they're not worth that price, but what are you going to do? Like, if you want to get into the game, now would be the time. But interest rates, there's a lot to consider now.
You're absolutely right. I'm going to tell you and everyone else what I see the problem as. Number one, interest rates are way too high. Number two, people don't want to accept the consequences of the decision we made. It was very, very simple. We let way too many people into this country, and that created this big housing bubble. And we all knew the bubble was going to burst eventually. And we were right on the brink. And we went on this massive tear trying to build. And we're not building anything. Like, I think it's pretty clear. Yeah. This fantasy about building 1 million homes was always a lie. Like, they knew they couldn't do it, and they still convinced Canadians to believe we'll build 1 million homes. It was never going to happen, and now it's certainly not going to happen. The real estate market is tanking because prices are too high and because there's people who are underwater on their mortgage now. They bought at the height of the market. Mm-hmm. They paid, say, $1.2 million for a home. And they thought, okay, well, when I sell it, I'll at least get $1.2 million. That's my retirement fund.
No.
The hell it is.
No.
Now that 1.2 is in some cases going for 700. They lost $500,000 on it.
I believe it. So in 2020, 2021, I was trying to buy a house again when I was out east, but everybody was asking over $200,000, and I could see the writing on the wall. I thought, there's no way we're ever going to make this money back. So to me, I just stepped away. I just decided to rent, even though it was more expensive than owning a home. But right now, it honestly is the smarter thing to do and less to worry about. But yeah, interest rates, it's a lot of different things you got to think about. And I feel for everybody and all the people who left their old jobs to become realtors too, because it was a boom. It's so hard out there.
The percentage of realtors that don't sell a single home in a year has skyrocketed.
I believe it. It's so hard. I feel for them because it was such a hot time, and I understand why they took that on. But now it's like, what are you supposed to do?
Anna, I appreciate your time.
Thank you. I had so much fun. Can I say that laundry detergent? We shouldn't be paying $25 for laundry detergent.
That's a good point, actually.
And cereal. Like Kellogg's, come on. I'm not paying $7 when it used to be $2.
That's a great point, too.
That makes me... I got that off my chest.
Well
really
said,
angry.
Anna. All right. Good. All right, friends. I'm going to get into some of the stuff that I typically do here now in Scott Fox After 9. I'm going to play some audio for you, and I'm going to go rapid fire. First off, yesterday in Ottawa, I believe this was Aaron Gunn, Member of Parliament for the Conservatives, and he was questioning the Public Safety Minister, Gary Anandasangri. I think I said his name right. Right now, the federal Liberals are trying as hard as they can to make you forget that for the last 10 plus years, we have had a serious issue in this country with China. Now, because Mark Carney really wants to work with China, they're trying to undo the damage. Listen to this line of questioning. It's 1 minute and 10 seconds long.
Important procurement. Obviously, there's public safety concerns, security concerns for Canadians. Are we on the same page that China is a communist country?
Well, I mean, I think it's factually yes.
Okay, that's perfect. Do you agree that President Xi is a dictator?
What I would suggest is that we can go around the world and put tags on individual leaders.
We certainly can.
That is not what I'm here to do. What I'm here to advise this committee is that the process by which we undertake these procurements in this particular case was by the government.
Have you done a security review?
We talked about it before you came here, Mr. Gunn. So I
just want to get it on record.
You may want to review the transcript. Because,
I found it hard to believe. I was told that we hadn't done it, but is that true?
Well, I can ask Mr. Bilodeau to answer that question. We've already answered that, but if you want this to be repeated, of course, we can do that.
Thank you, Chair. There was no security review done of the actual BC, the ferries that BC purchased. When we got involved in late April, early May, the decision to purchase the ferries had already been made.
That's your federal government, everybody. That's your federal government. They won't call Xi a dictator. And turns out there's very serious security concerns around these ferries that we bought from them instead of building Canada strong and building it here with Canadian shipbuilders. Let's stay in Ottawa for a second. Again, I'm going rapid fire. This is the Member of Parliament for Brantford and Brant and Six Nations of the Grand River. His name is Larry Brock. Real great guy. In fact, he dropped by our offices here just before Christmas, and we had a really good chat. I like him a lot, and here is him talking about an issue that I think every Canadian should care about. It's 1 minute and 7 seconds long.
This week, Peel police charged 4 men with sex trafficking girls as young as 11 years of age. Yet within 24 hours, these disgusting criminals were released on liberal bail. Let that sink in. Grown men charged with exploiting young girls are now walking free. Wow. This is an absolute disgrace. This is what a broken justice system looks like. Yep. Enough is enough. When will this government stop coddling the worst criminals in our society and finally stand on the side of innocent children?
Just today, I was with Peel Regional Police at a human trafficking symposium, and we talked about these issues with survivors. It's really important that criminals of this type, this heinous crime, get the sentences that they deserve, and that is why, Mr. Speaker, we brought in place bail reform. Had the Conservatives cooperated, we could have had it passed before Christmas, but they chose to obstruct. I'm glad to see that the legislation is now progressing and we could put an end to the revolving door.
That is Ruby Sahota, I believe, and I believe she is a member of Parliament in Peel, answering that question from Larry Brock. And great, Larry, I'm glad you brought attention to that in the House of Commons. These were grown men that were trafficking like preteen girls for sex, and they're out on bail. By the way, I need to issue a correction there, and it's not on me, it's on Ruby there. She said that the bail reform would be passed if the Conservatives hadn't obstructed it. Just so everyone knows, that's not what happened at all. The Conservatives ran on a platform of law and order. They ran on a platform of jail, not bail. All the Conservatives did was propose a few amendments to try and strengthen the weak legislation that the Liberals imposed. That was all that was. It wasn't obstruction in any way. Now it looks like there's a path towards passing it, and here's hoping they do, because we need it. Another one from Ottawa yesterday. This is a Conservative member of Parliament questioning Canada's immigration minister. This is on, you know what, this one speaks for itself, and it's short. This one's like 20 seconds long. It's actually kind of funny. It would be funny if it wasn't sad at the same time.
Quick question. Can you assure Canadians that no terrorists will become citizens through this legislation?
Again, these are people who are already citizens. Have not been for.
Thank you, Minister. Thank you,
right
Mr. Redekop.
Okay, the chair had to jump in and save her Liberal colleague because the immigration minister actually said it. Again, the question: under this new immigration policy that the Liberals are proposing, the amendments they want made, can you guarantee that no terrorists are going to get Canadian citizenship? What was her response?
These are people who are already citizens. Have not been for.
Thank you, Minister.
They're already Canadian citizens. What are we doing here? Come on, seriously? That's the federal Minister of Immigration. Bananas. One more before I get to Doug Ford's news conference from yesterday. This is former Deputy Prime Minister Chrystia Freeland. And I'm trying to figure out who she was talking to. I think it was one of the American publications. And she did talk about Canada's new alliance that Mark Carney's trying to form with China.
Well, let's talk about China, because it strikes me that one of the things that your Prime Minister, Mark Carney, has done is traveled to China and negotiated some adjusted trade deals there. Is China the big winner here? By the way, China was not mentioned last night at the State of the Union, and it's been a long time since the U.S. president has not mentioned China in that speech.
Yeah, I think China was the big winner. And what is really ironic, and I personally would say is sad, is China today, when it talks to countries like Canada, is casting itself as the reliable partner. As a country that particularly middle powers like Canada can trust, can lean on, that if you do a deal with China, it's a deal that has meaning. And China is also casting itself as the defender of this international order based on rules that the U.S. created. Now, my own view is we need to be a little bit skeptical of commitments from China to do that. I was foreign minister when in retaliation for Canada's decision to honor an extradition treaty with the United States 2 Canadians were illegally seized, arrested by China, effectively held hostage. International experts concluded that their treatment amounted to torture. That is not the behavior of a reliable partner. But for me, a really terrible thing that's happening right now is a lot of people, a lot of Canadians are now coming to the conclusion that Beijing can be trusted more than Washington. I think that's really sad.
Yeah, I mean, there's endless brainwashing and propaganda from our mainstream media, so I'm not surprised that Canadians are very conflicted about whether or not they do or don't like China. Anyway, a lot of what Chrystia Freeland said there was quite right. It was very true about China. That was Bloomberg, by the way, that she was doing an interview with there. I'm going to get to the Doug Ford news conference that happened yesterday. This is an interesting one because it covers a whole wide variety of topics. We're only going to spend about no more than 10 minutes on this, but there's some interesting clips, particularly for folks in Ontario, that I think you might want to hear.
So, Premier, you promised to end hallway healthcare when you were elected, but recent Ontario health numbers show that it actually worsened. Why hasn't your government solved this problem?
Well, I'm going to hand this over to the Minister of Health, but let me tell you something. Since we've taken office, we've seen the population grow over 2 million people. What we've done is nothing less than a miracle to our healthcare system. No matter if it's investing $60 billion to 50 sites or attracting 100,000 nurses that are registered in Ontario, 20,000 doctors, probably 26,000 PSWs. We have 30,000 nursing students in the schools right now. Stay and learn. That we're paying for their education. We're paying for the doctors' education. We're adding more medical seats. We're adding more medical schools. So I'll put our record against any person in any jurisdiction in the province or North America. We are pouring money into healthcare. When we took office, it was $60 billion. The last numbers I saw were $93 billion. So again, we've done more for healthcare than anyone ever in the history of this country. Do you know what we need to do more? We need to start promoting it more. We need to start advertising it and telling the people what we're doing for healthcare, and that's going to be coming shortly. I'll hand it over to my Minister of Health.
By the way, that is right out of Donald Trump's playbook. Just recently, Donald Trump was saying to his people, we're not doing a very good job at telling people about all the wins. So clearly, Doug is still very highly influenced by Donald Trump. And, you know, Doug Ford here says that he has done a fantastic job managing healthcare. Is that your experience? Because the way I see it, there's so many people that can't get a family doctor. There are people dying on waiting lists for various procedures. There are people having to travel great distances in the middle of the night to get a simple MRI. We have 12-hour waits in some of our emergency rooms. We have some hospitals, particularly in the rural areas, that are closing down off hours because they don't have the staff for them. That doesn't add up with everything Doug Ford just said. So if Doug Ford's real, honest-to-God suggestion is he wants to put his record up against any other government's record, game on, challenge accepted. Let's talk about results. Because frankly, I think that's all anybody cares about. It's very simple. We pay a lot of money for this. It comes off our check every 2 weeks. We're paying a fortune for this. And we're not getting results. Nobody should be waiting 12 hours in an emergency room. Nobody should have to drive 100 kilometers in the middle of the night to get an MRI. If you go to your local hospital, it should be open. These are very basic things. We want results, and it seems like the results aren't there, Doug.
I'm not going to spend the next hour reading all the investments that we've done in Niagara, and it's like that, pass the buck. Well, you know, they shouldn't be they shouldn't be elected. Simple as that. They're being reckless. Start standing up. Start being accountable for once in your life to your taxpayers. I could be the mayor of every single region in here and I'd balance the books. Simple as that. I've seen other ones do it with 0% tax increase, like Mayor Del Duca in Vaughan with over 330,000 people, 0% tax increase.
Okay, I actually didn't intend to play that clip, but since the premier's bragging about his financial acumen, let's talk about that. Doug Ford just said he could be the mayor of just about any city and balance the books. Ontario has one of the worst deficits it's ever had under Doug Ford's watch. We have transit projects that are well behind schedule and way over budget. He says he could balance the books in any city. You know what? He used as an example Stephen Del Duca, the mayor of Vaughan, Ontario. He did put forth a 0% tax increase, and he has got a balanced budget. The other reason you may know Stephen Del Duca is because he wanted to be premier of Ontario. We elected Ford instead. Did we elect the wrong guy?
Humber College, despite the investment that the province made about 2 weeks ago now, says they're now offering voluntary buyout packages for their staff, saying they're in such a financial place, looks like they're going to have to lose staff. What's your message to the college given that change?
Well, we're investing a record amount. No one's ever invested upwards to $7 billion in our colleges and universities. Those are staggering numbers. And I think the world of Humber College, they're the largest in the entire country. Campuses up in Etobicoke North and down by the lakeshore. But I'm going to repeat this, folks. No one has invested more money into colleges and university than our government, $7 billion. And we just gave them $6.2 billion over 4 years on top of the existing funding. So I wish them all the best. Drive efficiencies, run it like a business, educate our kids for jobs of the future.
Well, that's Doug Ford taking a completely different approach with the colleges and universities there because he realized he owns a lot of that. He realizes a lot of the reason that these colleges and universities are in such bad shape is because of his government. Well, let's talk about that for just a second here. He's saying run it like a business. He didn't want to let businesses run businesses like businesses when it came to Crown Royal. We've got plants closing all over the place and near record unemployment. There's a lot of businesses that are trying to run things like a business. Doug Ford picks the winners and losers, though. When Diageo wanted to make a business decision to close down one bottling plant, the guy went nuts, shook him down for millions of dollars and threatened to pull their product off the shelves. So who is supposed to run a business like a business and who is supposed to take a loss? That's all I want to know from Doug Ford.
There's a new poll out this morning from Liaison Strategies that has your party at 40% support, 4 points over the Liberals. You're down 7% from the fall. Do you think that the federal party and Pierre Poilievre are pulling your party down any?
No. You know something, Liaison? They're heavy Liberal pollsters. Last week, another poll came out that we were 45%. They were down 30. I had another poll. We're at 45. They're at 20%. You know, polls are for dogs. And the only poll that counts is on election day. So all these pollsters, they're a little biased, pushing up one, bringing down the other. The people will decide. The people will decide if they want to go back to tax and spend governments, chasing 300,000 jobs out of the province. We've gained 1 million jobs. We've never raised taxes. If they want a tax and spend government, we aren't the ones. But if you want a thriving, prosperous economy, building infrastructure, building investments into our healthcare, into schools and education, we're the party that's done it. We have a proven track record.
Can you feel the economy thriving, everyone? Can you feel the prosperity just oozing out of our provincial borders? Can you feel it? That's what Doug's promising. He said, if you want a tax and spend government, go back to the old government. Okay, well, in fairness, he's not really a tax guy, but he's certainly a spending guy. He raves every time he gets in front of a microphone about how much of our money he's spending. And frankly, I don't see the value for money. Here's my challenge to Doug Ford. Doug Ford, I think you have completely lost your way. When you attacked students and middle-class families with this insane new OSAP policy, rather than just fix OSAP and make the whole system better, you lost me. I'm out. I'm done. I'm going to ride that guy like a donkey until the next election. That's what I'm going to do with Doug Ford. Or he can come in here and explain it to you, the taxpayers, the ones that listen to this podcast every single day. Open invite, Doug Ford. I know you don't do interviews because you don't do well with tough questions, but I'm going to ask you some tough questions and I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain your position. And I'm going to challenge you a little bit on it, just like I have been in playing some of your audio. But this is an open invitation, Doug Ford. Get your butt in here. Let's talk about why you think everything is great, why you think the economy is thriving, why you think our healthcare system is some marvel of the modern universe, why you think students can afford this hit that you've imposed on them. Come talk to me about that, Doug. If you're going to do any interviews, and again, I know you won't. It's cowardly. He won't sit down and be accountable. The guy who goes on and on about accountability won't sit down and do interviews with the media. Here's your chance, Doug. You want a fair interview? You come in here like your brother did, like Rob Ford did. He sat across the table from me at the height of his scandals, and we talked it out. And to this day, people still say that was the best interview Rob Ford ever did. Doug, I can help you. You get your ass in here. You sit down and answer some questions that taxpayers want answered. Friends, that's my time for today. Have a great one. Tomorrow is Friday. We are getting closer to March, and the weekend is almost here. I'll catch you in less than 24 hours. If you didn't hear the other 2 episodes that kind of got hung up in the system this week, go back and give them a listen if you want a little bit more. If not, I'll talk to you in less than 24 hours with a new episode of Scott Fox After 9. Pat James and The Whole Truth sings Hey Now. Go ahead, Pat. Oh.